Hello, hi, I'm Prita Kemal Gani. I would like to share with you the need of public relations for entrepreneur. It is very important for entrepreneur to understand public relations. Why? Because entrepreneur who has a good performance also must have a good reputation. Good reputation will create good business. But how to tell the customer and how to tell the public about the good things of the entrepreneur if it's without public relations? So, public relations is very important. And the importance of public relations for an entrepreneur. Why? Number one is to create an awareness. It is very important for the buyer, for the public to understand who make the product and who are they. So that's why the public relations in the company or a public relations consultant will be able to tell the public about the entrepreneurs, the company, the organization who make the product with passions, dignity, and happiness. So that's make the products become being liked by many people. And also, it is important for a public relations to be understood by the entrepreneur because it will tell to the customer and to the public that the organizations that lead by this entrepreneur is the organization who care for the community. So the customer wish to buy the product not because they need the product, they want the product, but because they know the product they bought will also contribute to the community. That is very important. For entrepreneur, public relations is also important to tell to the public about company achievement, about the financial history, and about establishment. So in Indonesia, we recognize the word tak kenal maka tak sayang, or how can you love if you don't know? So if you being known, that you must be also being loved by many people. So that is why the importance of public relations for the entrepreneur. And here as an example, Sir Richard Branson. He is the founder of Virgin Group. He often presents himself in the public and giving a speech that inspires many people. Then people get to know him and many people get inspired by him. And many people also wants to know about his product. That is one of the reasons Virgin Group is also being liked by many people and also it's become more successful than any other company. Of course, reputation is very important for an entrepreneur. But how to gain this reputation? A philosopher from France, Pierre Bourdieu, divides reputation into stages. The very low stages and the very basic is about the company history. How old is the company and how company is being founded? And the second is also about the company financial history. And of course, the logo, the corporate identity, the uniforms of the employee, the building is all marked as a reputations. And of course, they must have an award or an appreciation from many organizations that will also decorate the company reputations. And of course, company managerial, the employee is become the brand ambassador and also is a part of their reputation. And number one, the highest reputation is the CEO or the entrepreneur or the founder reputations. Lynn N. Davis, she's the president and senior partner of Asia Pacific Policeman Herald based in Hong Kong. She make a research on building personal reputation for the entrepreneur. So she divided into three categories in terms of the reputation management. The first is about reputations. So reputations should be close between perception and the reality. So the reality is the brand, what you say and how you behave. If you don't say about your brand, if you don't say about your company, people will not know. So you have to be the one who tell the public about your mission, about what you're doing, about the company missions and what a company doing. And as well, people will have perceptions, and then people will tell about you after they heard from you, after they feel about what you give them, the services and the product quality. So reputations by perception is what others says about you and based on the shared perception. And then the authenticity, the personality of the entrepreneur, CEO or the founder. The CEO reputation is very high and is very important, and the CEO reputation is really bring up the company reputations. The CEO reputations worth is 44% of the company market value, so the 56% are the rest. And also, if we see from the reputation stages, so the CEO reputations is worth 45%. So the rest is 55% are the other reputations like the financial history, the company history, the building, the management team, the corporate identity, the uniform, and a lot of things. So the CEO reputation is really quite significant. And for CEO who is social, like Richard Branson, often meeting people, often presents in the public area, and also sometimes to do a lot of good work and being known as the CEO or as the entrepreneur, that make the reputations even higher. This will make people get to know them, and mostly 82% from the research saying that people or customer more like to trust them because they know the person who make the product. Yeah? And then 77% from the research saying that the customer more likely to buy from them instead from another company with the same product. So also because the entrepreneur or the CEO being known, people heard their story, people see a face, people see how CEO move, and the CEO smile and caring. So it's inspired many people. So 78% young people or people wish to work for the CEO of or a company owned by the entrepreneur that have a good reputations. Okay, this is an example. Mr. Hairul Tanjung, he is an Indonesian conglomerate who own many supermarkets. He owns 3 TV stations. He owns banks. He owns a lot of things. He has a good reputation, so customer more likely to trust him, and customer more likely to buy from him. And also many professionals prefer to work for him once graduate from the university, or a professional working from him love to work for him for many years because he inspired his employee. And also another story that actually how reputations can keep the business and make the business become very good. Panasonic in Japan now is the 7th generation who run the company of Panasonic. We can still see Panasonic is still exists in the world. I mean, here, if we goes to the hotels or mall, the lamp, or the bolt, many equipments are all from Panasonic. Even in the plane, in the television in the plane and the navigations, they are all coming from Panasonic. So Panasonic is still exists and still being liked by the customer and by the people, although it's already in the 7th generation. Why? Because the reputations of Panasonic, the family, the founder, and everything, as their reputations be built and maintained. And also, we can see Bill Gates here. He's known as a person who cares about many things, about health issues, about poverty, about the educations and everything. So he is known as a CEO or an entrepreneur who has a humanity side. This is also being liked by many people. And also, an entrepreneur need the public relation in order to share their purpose and passions in running the business or in giving their services. And as well, an entrepreneur also need public relation to tell the public about their mission, about the company wisdom. Here is Joseph Drap. His father founded Godiva. Godiva is the name of a queen that is actually live in the Coventry area where all the chocolate tree being planted there. And she is a very loving queen and love the people. So the husband is actually Lord Montgomery, a king that always wants to get more from their people. So Lady Godiva always trying to remind her husband not to push on to take more from the people as they already suffer. And so one time the king or Lord Montgomery is not he did not keep the promise. So Lady Godiva ran from the palace with the horse and she is naked. So the good things of Lady Godiva, being a good lady, being a sweet lady to the people, so inspire Joseph Drap's father to create the logo or to create the missions of Godiva Chocolater to become a company. So there are many company, there are many chocolate shop in Belgium, and they are all nice. But why people still look for Godiva? Not because of the chocolate, because also the story of Lady Godiva. So that is also the importance of public relations for an entrepreneur, and also needed by entrepreneur, especially in terms of in a social media and media affinity. Social media will help to closer between the entrepreneurs and their customer. So public relations strategy will help this. This is an example, Mrs. Christina Ong. She's the owner of Club 21 fashion brand. She's known as a very successful businesswoman. She's very accountable, reliable, and also have a good reputation. In fact, the story of Crazy Rich Asian, there is a lady in that movie. It was her reflections that of the writers saying someone like her. Okay, I think this is our all. I hope you can find these presentations useful for you, and hope to see you again sometimes. Bye, till we meet again.